Sheringham, Norfolk, there's a special name for the severe screams which sometimes besiege the coast in the corner of Norfolk. The sudden strong winds which cause brief but violent storms are known as the yow-yows, and those yow-yows are said to be linked to a captain of an old drowned ship. It is said that just beyond the cliffs at Norfolk town, on a dark and stormy night many years ago, a ship got into trouble as it sailed close to the safety of Sheringham. As the captain's lungs began to fill with water, he cursed the fishermen of Lower Sheringham, who could have but didn't sail out to save him from a watery death, very probably because they intended to salvage and sell his cargo. Today the fishermen have reported hearing cries for help from the sea on calm days whilst they're on their boats. Assuming that someone is in distress and needs their immediate help, they, unlike their ancestors, sail to help and reach the spot where the voices can be heard, only to find no one there. It is at this point that the mischief begins, as they begin to reach the source of the sound, and it swiftly moves to another area of the sea. That same thing happens over and over again. They say it's a warning which would be foolish to ignore. The cries from the sea are a call to return to the shore safely as quickly as possible before the yow-yows strike and they are caught up in the eye of the storm. Others claim that the yow-yow is actually the sound heard by fishermen and is a cry of the drowned men, which is followed by a storm. It could be that the story of the yow-yows is linked to another ghastly tale, which rattles around the town of Sheringham, that of 12 drowned sailors who washed up on the beach after their ship was lost at sea, who were unceremoniously thrown into a ditch without a Christian burial and covered with a heap of stones between a gap on the cliffs of the very edge of Sheringham boundary. Anyone foolishly enough to walk where the unfortunate 19th century sailors found their final resting place on a dark and stormy night would be rewarded hearing the eerie sound of shingle dropping slowly, pebble by pebble, onto a larger stone, possibly the gravestone the sailors were never allowed to have. While the sound itself is not hugely unpleasant, it is portent of doom for anyone that hears it, a final reason to avoid the edge of cliffs at the dead of night when the weather is against you. And that is the haunted story of the yow-yows of Sheringham, Norfolk. Here we are tonight at Sheringham in Norfolk, and we're standing by the beach, and we've come here to do a little mini investigation about the paranormal story called the yow-yows. Just beyond the cliffs, which are down there, which is just too dark to see, a long time ago, so the locals say, a captain of an old ship drowned. The fishermen of Lower Sheringham could have saved him, but no effort was to do so. Perhaps because he did not survive, they could salvage his cargo. As the captain's lungs began to fill with water, he cursed the fishermen of Lower Sheringham. Now the fishermen of today say that on calm days they sometimes hear the voices calling for help whilst they're out there in their boats, assuming that it is someone in distress they go to investigate, unlike their ancestors. When they reach the spot where they thought the voice had been coming from, it suddenly ceases and starts up in another direction entirely. This, they say, is a warning which could be foolish to ignore, for if they do not seek shore immediately, they will be caught up in severe squalls that will always follow this phenomena. It is known locally as the Yow-Yows, though why we have been unable to find out. We have also heard that it is not just one man, but a whole ship full of mariners that drowned.
Just off this particular area, at the end of January 1897, there was a great storm which lasted several days. Extensive damage was suffered along the entire east coast. A Norwegian brig, the Isbjørn, carrying a cargo of ice, was driven ashore at Sheringham on the 23rd of January at 3:30 p.m. The Isbjørn had left Krakow, Norway, on the 19th of January, bound for Gravesend. On board was a Captain Isaac Lowe and a crew of 7. This was his first trip as master of a vessel. The private lifeboat Henry Ramey Upcher was launched to rescue the crew of the brig, which would soon be breaking up. The sea was mountainous, but did not deter the lifeboatmen. There was no modern means of reporting it, so several days before the story appeared in newspapers. The tale of bravery of the crew of the Henry Ramey Upcher soon spread, and they received praise from all parts of Britain. For many years the exact date of the rescue was unknown, but not before the 23rd of January and not after the 29th. The Coxswain lifeboat kept a diary, and he entered the date as 29th of January. He took part in the rescue. You would assume that it is correct, but researchers revealed that he was not always correct with his dates. Mrs. Upcher wrote a letter to her grandson dated the 28th of January telling him about the gallant rescue of 8 Norwegians in a blizzard that previous Saturday. Our researchers have shown that the rescue took place on the 23rd of January 1897. So just literally past this break here is the wreck of the Isbjørn. And I wonder how many more wrecks there are along this coastline, because it's a very ferocious coastline.
Okay, so what we're going to do is turn on our equipment again. I'm going to use the obvious, yeah? I'm going to use the puck, and I might do some EVPs. But we're going to go and find somewhere a bit warmer to go and stand. It's absolutely freezing here, isn't it? Absolutely freezing. So,
okay, we've now set up the Paranormal Puck 2. And we're going to start asking some questions.
okay, I've asked, is there anybody who wants to speak here? Okay. We have aggression, calm, computer.
Wagon on the Ovilus.
Okay. Maybe you should put that over there. Wagon. That be relevant? What do you mean by wagon? Could you please use this devices to talk? We've come here to talk about the Yow-Yow story. Would you please talk about that? We've asked, where are we? Great tilt, horrible. No, I'm not getting nothing now. I'm just going to move this here.
Leg.
Pardon?
Leg.
Leg.
Yeah, as in your leg.
Oh, right. Well, it is a horrible night.
Yeah, it's very rough seas tonight.
Yeah.
If there's anyone there that wants to give us a message, please do. Please use the 2 devices we have running at this moment in time.
I've asked the pup to, what's your name? Karen Rent. Hi.
So we've got Karen.
Hello, Karen. Are you sober? Okay. Why are you here? I've asked, why are you
Then,
here, Karen?
Crescent.
Derek Gain, coat type large. Derek has come up again.
Name comes up a lot on this.
Yeah.
Drift. To Lady Drift. Divided.
Wow, okay. So,
Did a lady drift here?
was it driftwood? Are you talking about driftwood? Did you get divided from the lady?
Maybe she drifted out to sea, and
Yeah.
because she drifted out to sea, it divided her away from her family.
Past the
Is that Karen?
Is that Karen? Is this Karen that you're talking about? Can you please tell me, is that Karen? Maybe we should stand out more outside.
Slave. Begin.
Slave begin.
Oh, it's a bit biting here. Truck.
Truck. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, is this just random letters?
Passing ships that used to carry the slave trade.
Possible.
Yeah. Come on, speak to us. Use these devices to tell us where we are. Who are you? Tell us the name. We've had the names Karen and Derek come through. I've asked the pup, do you want to say anything? Crystal chills appear.
Yeah, it's definitely cold.
Yeah.
And it could quite easily snow at this cold temperature. Nothing on the obelisk.
Let's walk a bit further to where the shipwreck was. We'll point the camera out, you can tell it's just on that there.
It's just on this ridge here.
It's just to the left of it, isn't it?
Oh, to the right, yeah.
Okay. I'll come up there. Really? Is there not another mask or anything that you could put that against?
So we're here by the cliffs and by the wreck of the Isfalen. Can I do the Anyone speak through these devices? Please give us a message. Give us some form of validation. Let us know anything you want us to know.
It's believed to be here, at this site, that people have heard the mariners screaming for help whilst they met their death. Okay, we're going to walk over more to the sea. I'm not getting much. We've just had after come up on the Ovilus. We're going to do a quick EVP session. Hold that down. Just take your hand and go. Oh, that
Blind trick.
Yeah, that came up, didn't it? On the. Okay, I'm going to start EVP session. EVP session at Sheringham Beach for the Yao Yao story. Please use this device to come and say something through it. Make the noises that you're known for here. Anything, just use this device, please.
Nine. The obelisk is bringing up 9.
Number 9. What is number 9 relevant? Is it 9 fishermen? 9 mariners?
What was the blind trick that was used?
Is it all you that we hear that are screaming for help whilst you're left to your deaths? Is it true that no one would come out and help you because what they wanted was your cargo? They wanted to sell it for money and gold? Use this device to talk through us. Science, scratch. Maybe I'll just put it up against this. Prop, dot, spoon. Can you tell me why these words are relevant? Know anything about the 12 mariners that were put into the cliffs along here and left there? They was never buried into any graves.
Often well. I think it's just gibberish.
Okay, I am bloody freezing.
Yeah.
Right, I think ending the session here. I'll do a review on that.
Yeah, release wrong.
Okay.
Well, I'm
gonna do a quick sweep, see if anything comes through. Hello? Use this device to talk to us through it. Can you say hello back? What's your name? What is your name?
In the EVP. In the EVP. So the obelisk. In the EVP. So the obelisk.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to end this. The weather's just too cold at the moment, so we'll end this and we'll go to the pub, yeah?
Review our information.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much all.